New this morning, Minnesota state troopers say alcohol was a factor in a wild late-night crash that sent a man to the hospital. Listen to what happened. Troopers say a 22-year-old driver missed a stop sign at highways 34 and 59 near Pelican Rapids right around 11 last night. Drove into a ditch, then into a parking lot and became airborne.
The SUV then rolled into a cement pillar and hit two gas pumps before rolling back onto its wheels. Jose Coronado of Pelican Rapids is being treated for non-life-threatening injuries at a Fargo hospital. There's no word from troopers on any charges that might be filed against him. Also new this morning, West Fargo police are investigating a motorcycle crash on the city's east side. It happened just after 10 o'clock last night at the intersection of 17th Street and Star Avenue East.
There's no word yet on the extent of the injuries, but our reporter on scene saw police and two motorcyclists picking up a bike and some broken parts. A Minnesota teenager is fighting for his life after being hit by a car while riding his bike. It happened yesterday afternoon on Highway 92 in eastern Polk County. State troopers say the 16-year-old boy from Gonvick was hit near the crest of a hill. The boy's injuries are considered life-threatening.
Two people are hurt after a plane crash near Brainerd, Minnesota. KFGO News is reporting that the plane was coming in for a landing at a private airstrip yesterday morning when too much brake was applied, causing a slow-speed nosedive. The two people on board had minor injuries.
It's 9 minutes before 7 o'clock. Let's get a check of that first alert storm team forecast. And Justin Fanfarelli's in this morning. Justin, it's already warm, almost hot, and kind of hazy out there.
Yeah, and the heat and humidity will increase as we go through the day today. Here's a look at what to expect as we go through the afternoon. Mainly sunny skies. We do have the chance of a few showers or thunderstorms into the Devil's Lake Basin during the evening in the heat. Otherwise, most of us staying dry. High temperatures today into the upper 80s and lower 90s. Here's a look at the current temperatures. Most of us now into the upper 60s and lower 70s. It is mild and humid. Let's take a look at the dew point temperatures across the region. Uncomfortable to oppressive, especially where we get 70-degree readings into the Southern Valley and into portions of Lakes Country. Everybody else is into the low to mid 60s in terms of dew points. Now, the winds are mainly from a southeasterly direction, around 5 to 15 miles per hour, and that is continuing to pump in the heat and the humidity. Here's a look at the satellite loop. We do have mostly clear skies across the region right now, maybe a few high clouds, but that's it for the moisture across the region, at least until early this afternoon. Hour-by-hour forecast shows temperatures rising back through the 60s or temperatures rising through the 70s and 80s by around the 10 a.m. hour, and then into the upper 80s and lower 90s through the afternoon. We're going to keep that southerly wind with mostly sunny skies. There's that chance of some showers and thunderstorms during the evening into the Devil's Lake Basin, but most of us staying dry. Now, going through the overnight, we're going to stay mostly clear, and then for the day tomorrow, we've got partly cloudy skies, another chance of some showers and thunderstorms as we make our way through your Friday evening. Let's take a look at that extended forecast right now. For Saturday, it's our first alert weather day, a high of 90 degrees. We got showers and thunderstorms likely, especially into the evening. And then for Sunday, mostly sunny skies, a high near 90, upper 80s on Monday. Good chance of some showers and thunderstorms, but dry for Tuesday, partly cloudy skies, high of 84 and 82 on Wednesday with mostly sunny skies. There's your weather. Let's check in with Devin Fry now with your Valley Today traffic on the move.
Thanks, Justin. We're finishing up our morning drive for this hour on I-29. We're heading north toward Grand Forks. Now, the traffic flow out here, it has picked up a little bit, but overall, still nothing that's really holding anything up. To give you an idea of how light the traffic flow has been, I was able to get from 12th Avenue North all the way to 52nd Avenue South in about 10 minutes. So that's from the north side of town all the way to the extreme south side of town, not using the interstates. Managed to get there in about 10 minutes. So it's really light out there on the side roadways today. You can see though here on I-29, things start to build up a little bit around 32nd Avenue, and that will last up until around the 13th Avenue area, mainly just because of the lane closures and reduced speeds up ahead, which has been going on for quite some time. Should be used to that out here on these roadways by now. Just be prepared as usual to face a slight delay here on I-29 heading north. Otherwise though, really the only project that's holding things up because it's in a major roadway. The other long-standing projects that we know of other than Main Avenue are mostly on side roads. So good news for your morning drive. We're going to keep checking out these roadways in the next hour on the Fargo CW, but for now, for your traffic on the move, I'm Devin Fry.
Two different groups of protesters shut down two major roadways in the Twin Cities last night. Dozens of protesters shut down Highway 13 in Eagan, just south of St. Paul, to where Isaac Aiden died a year ago today in a standoff with police. Prosecutors say the officers were justified in their use of deadly force because video appears to show Aiden reaching for something on the ground after flashbangs were fired toward him.
Another group on I-94 in St. Paul was calling for justice in the shooting death of a singer and activist in Ethiopia. The African nation's prime minister has tweeted condolences to her family and says an investigation is underway. Our extreme heat is not only uncomfortable for some, it can also be dangerous. Heat stroke is the #2 vehicle-related killer of children in the United States.
Now keep in mind, young children's bodies heat up 3 to 5 times faster than adults. Parents are reminded to check the back seat before leaving the car. Now consider keeping a stuffed animal or other memento in your child's car seat when it's empty, and then move it to the front seat as a visual reminder when your child is in the back seat. Experts are warning pet owners to prepare for the 4th of July holiday. The celebration leads to more lost pets than any other day of the year. July 5th is a busy one at America's animal shelters. That's because so many pets are scared off from their homes by fireworks.
You should microchip your pet. That way it'll be easier to track down your dog or cat if they run off. Also, talk to your vet about anti-anxiety medication that may make the holiday less stressful for your animal. And remember, keep your pets inside if you can for the night. That will decrease the chance of them running off when scared. Many people in the Valley agree that the 4th of July holiday just isn't the same without a trip to the lake. But of course, things will be a little bit different in Lakes Country this year. Not only were the fireworks shows canceled, especially in DL, but restaurants and shops are still on strict guidelines.
In the Valley today's Callie Hubbard joins us live in Detroit Lakes this morning, telling us what we need to know as we head out to Lakes Country. Callie, beautiful day out there on the lake, it looks like.
It is gorgeous, Lisa and Jordan. I'm out here reminding you, authorities want you to know a few things to keep in mind. I talked with one officer at the Detroit Lakes Police Department, and he told me this year is going to be a strange one. 2020 is the first year he can recall where there is going to be no fireworks show. Now, the colorful displays are called off, but restaurant doors will be open. If you're venturing from the North Dakota side or need another reminder, restaurants and bars are still following Governor Tim Walz's guidelines. Zorba's told me they're one of the many enforcing a 6-foot distance. Restaurants and bars must operate at 50% capacity and not exceed 250 people for indoor and outdoor settings each. You're going to need a reservation, and masks are required for workers. Now, if you plan on walking to different retail shops, Governor Walz says they can operate at 50% with a COVID-19 plan in place. Now, Becker County Sheriff Todd Glander tells me that tons of people have already made their way to the lakes, so there's going to be lots of traffic this weekend, so you need to plan ahead and slow down. If you are on the water, be sure to wear your life jacket and follow those CDC guidelines. He says that people are doing a pretty good job so far at following the guidelines, and says patrols will be on the lakes and the Otter Tail River this weekend. Now, authorities are also telling you that you cannot use or possess fireworks in the state of Minnesota. And if you are caught lighting bottle rockets, firecrackers, and Roman candles, you could end up with at least a $150 fine.
We could take another closer look at the fireworks. I know anything that shoots into the air, there are some fireworks that are allowed as long as they don't leave the ground.
I'm not sure on the specific rules, but definitely something to check because they differ county by county, town by town, state by state. So look into that before you light them off. Thank you, Callie.
One of Minnesota's premier fishing lakes is closed to walleye fishing for the month of July to protect the fall angling season. The Walleye Fishing Ban takes effect on Mille Lacs Lake, and it runs through the month of July to reduce hooking mortality at a time when water temps are high.
The move was made to reduce the potential for an unplanned closure in the fall. In addition, Mille Lacs Lake anglers cannot use most live bait for any species in July.
Let's get our answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. Today's question: 38% of Americans in a recent survey said they would not only change jobs, but even take a pay cut if they could have this at work.
The answer is their pet. You might want to ask the boss. Every now and again we see a pet around here.
Yes, we do.
And it sure does brighten our day. But thank you for joining us here on the Valley today. The Today Show and CBS This Morning, they're just about to start. But the Valley today, we roll on. We'll have more live up-to-the-minute news and weather coming up for you right now on the Fargo CW.